Story 1. I feel uncomfortable admitting this, but I genuinely dislike working out and always have. It's not a great situation and I should push past it, but the fact that I really can't stand the process of exercising means I'm not making an effort to do it. The question was, what is stopping you from going to the gym? I answered honestly, I'm not looking for advice on how to overcome my lack of desire to work out. I've tried yoga, mat Pilates, reformer Pilates, jogging, gyrotonic, swimming, worked with a physical trainer, underwent a year of physical therapy after breaking my leg, and even paid for an expensive gym membership thinking I could motivate myself to go. I enjoyed none of it. Do I know I need to work out to stay fit and healthy? Yes. Do I like it? No. Despite my best efforts. Story 2. For me, and I think for most people, it's just about going. Once I'm there, I usually enjoy the activities and I'm glad I did it, despite sweaty clothes and sore muscles. However, the idea of making a decision is the worst part for me. Story 3. The cost and family obligations have limited my options. I work out at home with the equipment I have available, including a few dumbbells, a stationary bike, and a bench. While it may not be as effective as a full gym, I am still making good progress. Story 4. I am quite nervous. As a plus-size girl, I feel like I don't know what I am doing. I usually don't. I work in my room, and I know others at the gym don't pay attention to me like that. It is just a mental block, I guess. Story 5. Distance and availability. It costs $70 per month for one adult, but it takes between 20 to 40 minutes to get there due to heavy seasonal traffic. They are only open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. This facility is the only gym within a 1-hour driving distance, and the nearest 24-hour gym is 2 hours away. I choose to go for walks and exercise at home instead. Story 6. The people there experience social anxiety, motivation, and discipline. I find working out incredibly boring and have other priorities that need my attention now. Story 7. Social anxiety. Fear of looking inexperienced. My wrists are injured from years of skateboarding followed by many years of inactivity and computer gaming. Story 8. Comfort. It's easy to do nothing, convenient to do nothing, and it doesn't feel bad to do nothing. That is, until it's too late. Story 9. Commercial gyms are no longer appealing to me. I cannot stand the crowd and how crowded it is. The presence of others disrupts my workouts, so I decided to invest a lot of money in a home gym. Story 10. I don't want to be seen in anyone's videos. If you're someone who posts videos everywhere, please refrain. Not everyone in those videos wants to be seen. If you're sharing your location, can you do it in a way that doesn't include others in the background? Some of us have escaped domestic violence, and some of us have stalkers and do not want to keep running. If you have a large following, any number of those followers could be using your page to locate someone else. Don't underestimate the lengths people will go to find you. Please consider this the next time you post with others in the background. Story 11. I think focusing on the gym is not the best way to get into shape. A small set of dumbbells at home can take you much farther. If you do not have a comfortable or safe place to work out at home, then running, sports, martial arts, or dancing are great alternatives. I weighed 145 pounds at 20 and pushed myself to 200 pounds in the gym by 30. The moment I reached that mark, I realized I disliked the gym and everything associated with it. I switched to sports and various outdoor activities, in addition to having a squat rack and flat bench at home, and I am much happier. I settled down to a healthier and more sustainable 170 pounds after years of trying to maintain all my gains. It takes way less time out of my day, and I feel more flexible and motivated. Plus, I can work out in my underwear at home while playing whatever music I want. There are no strange stares, no waiting, no unpleasant smells, no observing awkward human interactions, no unsolicited advice that is clearly wrong, and no driving involved. Story 12. I keep forgetting. I forgot to go yesterday. That makes 2,483 consecutive days. I have a terrible memory. Story 13. I just switched gyms, and while it is 25% cheaper, it feels like a cramped warehouse filled with unfriendly people. There are 4 different soundtracks playing at once, and there is not enough equipment. Story 14. I went 4 days in a row. My muscles need to heal. It's very painful not to go. I feel how my soul cries, wails, and weeps. But in moments like these, I have to stay strong. Story 15. I get back from school at 10 p.m. and leave for school at 7 a.m. The other 9 hours I spend sleeping and preparing food. But apart from that, nothing is stopping me. Story 16. I feel overwhelmed by other obligations that I need to finish first, and as a result, I do not work on them at all. Story 17. Working 80 hours a week to pay bills and basically survive, take care of children, handle chores, and get much-needed sleep. Story 18. I naturally don't eat very much, so I'm extremely thin anyway, and working out is challenging. I've tried it before, but I realized I would have to consume many more calories to make it worthwhile. Honestly, I prefer to be alone most of the time, so even if I were muscular, it would feel a bit pointless since no one would see it. Story 19. Don't know how to create a basic workout routine that is comprehensive, easy to follow, and has a low risk of injury? Story 20. I don't think I need it, as the main thing I lack is a proper diet. If the diet is not proper, then there is no point in going to the gym. Story 21. I am a 500-pound man. I cannot go to the gym without being stopped by others. Usually, it's well-meaning individuals giving compliments, but it bothers me that people single me out because of my size. If I could go to the gym without being approached, I would go every day. Story 22. The men at the gyms in my town are creepy and like to stare at women. One gym owner and fitness trainers are known for making sexual remarks and advances to female members, and I am absolutely not comfortable with that. There are only 3 gyms in my town, and they are all like this. I am not driving an hour to go to the gym. Story 23. I had lengthy explanations for each of my reasons but decided to summarize them. Lack of confidence and self-consciousness, fear of being laughed at or looking foolish while using equipment. Lack of time and desire. Not enough time after work. Feeling too tired. And a lack of interest in working out or taking on more obligations. Lack of motivation being married and not trying to attract a partner, as well as having gained more confidence due to weight loss from dieting. Story 24. Today, my back. I, at age 70, hate to miss a gym day. However, age will have you missing many things you enjoy. Story 25. The act of going out, coupled with the presence of other people, influences my preference. I generally prefer to work out at home. Story 26. I let it slip out of my routine, and now I can't seem to fit it back in. I know that's a common excuse, but my commute is longer now. I was already regularly running late for work when I went daily at 5 a.m. I also have many more responsibilities after school and never get to sleep early enough to justify waking up around 4 a.m. The excuses continue. I am trying to gather the equipment for my home, but that has been slow. Story 27. Right now, it's about money. I am currently unemployed. Normally, I rely on motivation. However, depression and executive dysfunction do not make for a good combination. I would really like to go to a gym. I could use guidance from people who know how to exercise properly to avoid injuring myself, as I am already mildly disabled due to scoliosis and suffer from chronic pain. Story 28. I prefer to work out with my equipment at home to avoid the risk of negative attention, rather than being featured in a viral video where someone might say something unkind about me, only to receive more attention when another person defends me. Story 29. I am an older man who goes to the gym 5 days a week. I am considering stopping because I am tired of seeing other older men sitting on the locker room bench. Story 30. I have 2 reasons. First, I dislike working out. It is exhausting, and my feet ache every time I walk or run. I wish I enjoyed it as much as some people do, but I can't. Second, I feel both intimidated and uncomfortable when I see others who perform better or appear more attractive. I know it relates to self-esteem, but it is the truth. I dislike feeling out of place and can't help but wonder what others think of me when I am there. Story 31. I'm not a doctor, but I've watched many of them on Instagram say that leg strength is directly connected to longevity. Get your legs big and strong, people. Story 32. Not stopping but impeding work meetings and my ex being present. On days like today, I must divide my gym time into 2 sessions to manage work meetings and avoid encountering my ex. I want to prevent running into her. Story 33. The fact that they withdraw money from your bank account and you have no way to stop it. I can't even pay monthly in advance with cash. We need your checking account information. No, thank you. I'm good. Story 34. I don't want to be accidentally filmed at the gym because someone wants to record themselves working out. Story 35. A married man found my Instagram and kept messaging me, asking if my leg sleeve goes all the way up. When I'm in shorts, it's clear it's a complete leg sleeve. Where else would it go? Another guy messaged me a picture of myself on the treadmill in front of him, saying his view was better than the TV. I immediately stopped, wiped it off, and left. I work out at home now. Story 36. Still waiting for the New Year's resolution makers to give up and stop coming. When it's less crowded, I will start again. Story 37. I dislike exercising just for the sake of exercising. It is monotonous and not what we are meant for. I would prefer to find other ways to remain active. Story 38. Time. A 2-year-old on a scheduled routine, a 6-year-old to entertain, and a husband who works at night. No time. Story 39. I finally took the plunge and returned this weekend after a break since before Christmas. However, I struggle with my thoughts. I become overly critical about how out of shape and weak I am now, which is discouraging. I then blame myself for letting it get to this point, creating a negative mental cycle. But I'm back, regardless of how challenging it feels. Story 40. My stomach is having issues digesting, and I haven't gone for blood work yet. I think it's just gastritis. I can't eat or drink much lately, and I don't want to work out malnourished and with no energy. Once I'm able to eat again without issues, I'll be back in. Motivation was never an issue, just my health concerns. Story 41. To be honest, I'm really not one to bother people, and since I do not have experience in the gym, I think I'll manage. However, I'm not using that as an excuse not to work out. I bought some dumbbells and a bench almost 2 months ago and have been consistent in working out with them at home. I hope to gain the confidence one day to go to the gym, as I do plan on using the machines. Story 42. As a parent with a busy schedule and a full-time job, I find that if I don't go early in the morning, it just doesn't happen. I appreciate group fitness classes because you have to sign up, and if you miss a session, they hold you accountable. Additionally, being around others motivates me to stay active and prevents me from becoming complacent. I manage to exercise 3 to 4 times a week. Story 43. I cannot justify the cost of the membership given how often I would be able to go, considering my overall work schedule. Story 44. I moved to a different state, and life was very busy for a while. I used to go 3 to 5 days a week, but right now I am dreading not being able to walk when I finally do go back. Story 45. I would like a gym with a pool, as I prefer swimming for cardio over gym machines. However, the gyms with pools near me are extremely expensive. Story 46. I used to have a 5-day workout schedule and a 6-day for lighter cardio, but I experienced major respiratory issues and have been hesitant to return to exercising. I also avoided public gyms because I felt nervous around other men. Now I understand my feelings better as I am transitioning, and I am unsure how average gym-goers view transgender women. I don't want to be harmed or belittled while trying to improve my fitness. Currently, I get my exercise at work and home. Story 47. My uphill battle with alcohol. I did well for a long time, but I fell hard and am now struggling to get back on track. Story 48. Work and home life can be challenging. My wife is a travel nurse, and we have a child. After work, I switch to dad mode. I often feel like a single parent when she is away. When she is home, she wants to spend as much time as possible with us. Unfortunately, my self-care is being neglected right now. Story 49. I have the equipment at home, but motivation is currently missing. I'm not in an unhealthy shape, but I would still love to work out. I can't do chest exercises right now because of a surgery, but my legs are good. Story 50. A muscle ache in the back of the neck and walking causes the neck itself to start hurting. In a couple of days, it should be all right. Story 51. I felt like I was going in blind. I never knew what I should use or how long to use it. I started meeting a friend who is a personal trainer, and he has been showing me what I should do. Now, I feel much more confident about going in on a regular basis. Story 52. The gym closest to me, and therefore the most convenient one to visit, is full of the most insufferable types of absolute unpleasant individuals. I stopped going when I realized that these were exactly the kind of people I actively try to avoid in normal life. Story 53. The number of people in my area makes it impossible for me to do anything. I have to settle for home workouts, mainly bodyweight exercises, which are not as fun in my opinion. Story 54. The last thing I want to do is exercise in front of others in revealing clothing. I work out at home now with a personal trainer. Story 55. I am very scared of working out in front of people. I know everyone is focusing on themselves, but it still occupies my thoughts. Additionally, many influencers are filming themselves at the gym. I do not want to be caught in the background of one of those videos. I prefer to work out at home in private. Story 56. It will take too much time out of my day, and I am drained from college and work, so I have no motivation to go now. Story 57. Before having kids, I struggled with procrastination and motivation. Now, it's simply exhaustion. My day wraps up around 8 p.m., and I feel completely worn out. I am currently navigating the toddler phase. Story 58. My typical workday starts at 5:15 a.m., and I am on my feet for about 9 to 10 hours each day. I enjoy being in the gym, but sometimes I just don't have the energy. Story 59. Time. Work is from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. I take care of my toddler in the morning and drop her off at daycare before I start work. Evenings are split between playtime and cooking with my wife. After the kids' bedtime, we try to do chores to stay caught up, and then I usually want to relax by playing a game or watching a show or movie. This routine repeats each week. Weekends are more flexible. I could find time to work out then, but I question whether it's worth paying for a membership to use it only 2 days a week. The second issue is a previous injury. I used to work out a lot before my upper back injury in 2015. Now, if I work out, I experience not only muscle pain but also inflammation and discomfort in my upper back for a couple of days. I was down to 199 pounds on a good day from 283. I got back up to 281 last year and am now sitting at 262 to 265 pounds. Story 60. I went every other day for 2 years. I'm heavy, but I didn't care. I am thick and I liked going. One day, out of nowhere, I lost motivation. You couldn't have kept me out of the gym from 2022 to 2024. I was in a snowstorm in Ohio during Christmas break, and I managed to get myself there at opening hours. I'm from Florida, so to be on vacation and still be there was remarkable. I even had to pay the daily rate because it wasn't my home gym. I'm telling you, the brain is so strange. After 2 years of seeing results and feeling good, one day I didn't feel like going, and I still don't know why. Story 61. I wear my fat like armor. Deep inside, even though I'm tired of it, I have probably grown accustomed to it and am afraid of what living without armor would be like. Story 62. I am waiting for an MRI and hopefully surgery soon after for a triangular fibrocartilage complex injury. I can do cardio, but the inability to engage in other activities really dampens my motivation. Story 63. A 20-minute walk in each direction may not seem like a big deal, but in snowy winters and hot summers, it makes a difference. Spending 40 minutes on travel to spend just 20 minutes at the gym isn't practical. Story 64. I went 6 days last week and plan to do the same or more this week. It is looking quite promising, I must say. Story 65. Responsibilities that I prioritize over personal time. Not to say I don't exercise, I just don't have time for going to an actual gym. Story 66. I just moved and I haven't been able to meal prep, so I haven't been eating much. My new freezer is small, which is also a problem. I am very skinny, and if I work out without eating 3,000 calories a day, I will lose weight, which I do not want. I lost 5 pounds in a week before I realized I needed to eat more. A deep freezer is on the way, though. Story 67. I dislike waiting for the equipment, and unfortunately, all decent gyms in my town are very crowded. Additionally, my motivation is lacking. Story 68. The only reason I go to the gym is because it resembles a strip club at this point. Women are bending over in fabric so tight you can see goosebumps. I love it. I am coming out with a line of crotchless yoga pants, and I will start a rumor at my gym that a prominent figure said women aren't smart enough to wear Christmas pants. Overnight, my products will sell out, and the next day, every woman at the gym will be crawling in front of the mirrors, looking at themselves. Story 69. Laziness. Once I'm there, I'm good. It's just so hard to get ready and have everything you need, like shoes, socks, a charged phone, and charged headphones, without any pressing conflicts in the next 3 hours. Story 70. The people. I believe you can achieve similar results at home or outside the gym unless you are overly focused on bodybuilding. The gym can be expensive and often has too many distractions. Story 71. I never come down from that gym high. I feel energized for over 10 hours after the workout. So I switch to hot yoga. I still elevate my heart rate, but in a less intense way, which I consider my physical meditation. Story 72. I was in the gym for 7 years, then left it abandoned for 7 years. Now I am back again for the next 7 years. It's the cycle. Story 73. Gyms are predatory businesses that have no intention of helping you. They just want your money. I can do weight training at home. Story 74. If you're lacking motivation and discipline because of people you see on social media, please know that much of it is untrue. I'm not saying that some individuals aren't really fit, but that shouldn't be your goal, as it's an impossible standard for most people with jobs, children, and other priorities. Also, unless you go to a gym filled with disrespectful individuals, the side glances and critiques you think you perceive from others at the gym are likely in your head. Most people just want to focus on their workouts for the day and are happy to see others making improvements, little by little. Story 75. If I had the time and the money, I would. However, I currently find myself without either, and the little I have left is being redirected toward family matters. Story 76. It's really about location and schedule. I have 3 hours of free time between being home and going to sleep. My usual workouts are 60 to 90 minutes. The problem is that I am in a town where the closest gyms are 2 towns away, requiring over an hour of driving for a round trip. If I force that into my schedule, then showering and dinner are compromised since I can't eat before bed. Story 77. It is exhausting to my senses. The noise, the loud music, and the constant crowds around the equipment require me to be aware of my surroundings to avoid them. It triggers anxiety in a way that makes me want to flee. Story 78. Childcare options have become limited. Most local gyms that offered childcare stopped during the COVID pandemic. The local YMCA continued its program until recently. In December, I gathered all the information to sign up in February when my child would be 6 months old, the minimum age for their childcare classes. However, when I went to register, I found the room empty, and the staff confirmed that the program had ended a few days earlier. This is frustrating because my only options are 2 gyms out of town, both at least 30 to 45 minutes away by highway. One is a premium gym that is not affordable for me while I am on parental leave, and the other has very poor reviews for both the gym and childcare services. I was hoping to improve my health now that my spouse is back at work full-time, but our families live a minimum of 8 hours away, leaving us with few options. Story 79. I genuinely don't enjoy it, and I don't know why it feels wrong to admit that. I think if I had equipment at home, I would do it more often because it would be more comfortable. Story 80. I dislike gyms. I have invested a significant amount of money in equipment, so I do not feel the need to go to a public gym. I could use more floor space, but I managed to make it work. Story 81. I play basketball twice a week for 90 minutes each time. However, going to the gym and working out isn't easy for me. We live 20 minutes away from the nearest gym. Both my wife and I work, and we have 3 kids, which leaves very little time for exercise. I can manage it if I want only 4 to 5 hours of sleep, but I am already getting around 6 hours. Story 82. I am eager to get back into the gym with my 6-day workouts, but work is keeping me from it. My work schedule is from 6 a.m. to 10:15 p.m., Monday through Friday, and on Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 10:15 p.m. However, on the rare occasion when I get a few hours to work out in the gym, my mood improves significantly. Story 83. I play racquetball 3 days a week. I do not lift on the same day I play, and if I lift the day before, my coordination is compromised for racquetball the following day. I simply enjoy racquetball more. Story 84. Because general exercise frustrates me, and the type I enjoy, such as climbing and obstacle courses, is expensive and far away. Story 85. The equipment would be sufficient if the building had a well-stocked bar, comfortable seats, music, and salty snacks. Then I would go to the gym regularly. Story 86. It's boring. Even when I have motivation, it is soon drained after 10 minutes of being here. Swimming, on the other hand, is appealing. I could definitely go for a swim right about now. Story 87. Exercise-induced migraines. Increased heart rate, migraine, muscle strain, migraine, elevated blood pressure, migraine. Story 88. During COVID, I bought home gym equipment. There is no way I am paying money to leave the house to work out in front of strangers anymore. Story 89. There is a massive wall in the way. The wall has a name, and its name is laziness. I just can't get over it. I tried once and hurt my neck looking upward. That was enough to discourage me indefinitely. Story 90. For a long time, I was scared of being judged. About 3 months ago, I got over it and experienced the complete opposite. People were eager to chat and very friendly. I would recommend this to anyone still feeling that way. I have lost 26 pounds since I joined. Story 91. There isn't one nearby, or at least not one close enough for me to visit before work. I work nights, so I cannot go after. Story 92. Honestly, my job. The best membership in my town is about $12 a month, which is a great deal. However, my job requires me to be on call for 1 week out of every month. I feel like there's a week when that $12 is going to waste. I've been considering the idea, but I'm still not sure it would be worth the hassle. Story 93. I have heard many stories of people having trouble canceling their gym memberships. Therefore, I work out at home. Story 94. In about 8 hours, I will be at the gym. I need to work so I can afford to go to the gym and become a happier, healthier person. Story 95. I want my health and fitness to improve while I enjoy donuts and sodas. Story 96. I know I should go, but actually doing it feels like a hurdle. I feel uncomfortable just thinking about beginning to work out with others around, as I will probably look awkward and feel embarrassed about the state of my health. Story 97. It takes too much extra time to travel there and back, in addition to the time I would actually spend working out. Story 98. I feel like I do the same workouts and it gets old. I lose motivation after a while. I just don't know how to plan what I am going to do. Story 99. The hassle of going back and forth, the presence of other people, and the boredom of the activity can be overwhelming. There are many more enjoyable ways to get your workout. I am active every day. Story 100. I don't understand how people can avoid exercising. Staying fit is essential for physical health. People brush their teeth because if they don't, their dental health will suffer. Just remember, your body keeps track, and the older you get, the more you pay for what you did in your youth. Story 101. The weather is exhausting. It is too far, I don't have the time, and I don't feel like changing into gym clothes. I need to use the restroom. Story 102. Number 1 by a mile. It is way too loud. Number 2 by a half mile. I try to avoid contracts that are difficult to terminate. Number 3 by a quarter mile. It is too crowded. That being said, I absolutely love the machines at Planet Fitness and miss it greatly. Story 103. I already do too much exercise by riding my bike. I don't need to add more or I might have a heart attack. Also, gym subscriptions are impossible to get out of. Story 104. I'm working out a lot with no significant results. I have tried everything, including fasting, specific diets, and calorie counting, but sometimes it just doesn't work. Story 105. I may have the motivation in the morning to exercise after work, but by the end of the workday, I'm mentally exhausted and realize we still have to drive 45 minutes home, cook, eat, and clean up. That means we often do not finish until 10 p.m., so I usually just give up on going to the gym. Story 106. I used to love going to the gym. I was driven away by the influx of aspiring influencers, slow movers, and amateur filmmakers, along with the resistance of commercial gyms to address the issue. I built a home gym, and my workout schedule remains the same as before. Story 107. People who occupy the equipment for 15 to 30 minutes between sets and then glare at you if you ask to share are frustrating. I just want to complete my set and leave. I understand resting between sets, but I am referring to those who are still sitting in the same position 30 minutes later while I transition from the treadmill to the weight area. Story 108. I went from spending over 2 hours at the gym each day to doing nothing. Between work and starting a family, I can no longer fit it into my schedule. However, these new gym trends also turn me off. I plan to create a little setup at home soon and hopefully make that work. Story 109. I used to work out regularly. I was in really good shape. I felt good, looked good, and was confident and competent. Then my fingers and hands started hurting. My wrists began to hurt as well. The pain lingered for weeks and flared up unexpectedly, even when I wasn't doing anything physical. The pain could be so severe that I couldn't use my hands. Simple tasks like picking up a water bottle or zipping my pants after using the bathroom became agonizing. The pain affected either my left hand or my right hand. Sometimes it would go away. At other times, it would shift to my other hand when it started to feel better. Occasionally, I experienced pain in both hands simultaneously. Nowadays, I can barely do 5 push-ups. Lifting weights causes me pain for at least a week. My cardiovascular fitness has always been poor. I have a good amount of workout equipment at home, but I'm unable to use it without negatively impacting my basic quality of life. I have no need for a gym. Story 110. My husband got a family membership at the YMCA, and because I work in retail, I am exhausted when I get home. The YMCA is 20 miles away from my job. I could bring clothes and go after work, but I am just too tired. On my day off, I take care of things I can't manage when I work. So here are my excuses. Story 111. Being an alcoholic, I just can't seem to stop drinking 10 pints a night. I need to face the reality. I'm in the worst shape of my life and need to give myself a serious talk. Story 112. I don't have a car and there are no buses in my hometown. My apartment is cramped because I live with roommates and have pets. It's winter in the Rocky Mountains, so walking to the gym isn't an option, but I might be able to manage it in the summer. Story 113. I wanted to try martial arts, specifically Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or grappling, so I stopped going to the gym. However, all the martial arts studios are a bit far away, unlike the many gyms in my area. Story 114. Nothing stops me from going to the gym, not important work, not exams, and not my own health issues. The secret and the motivation is, I want to be better than yesterday and complete my daily checklist to achieve it. If you have any kind of emergency, just do some push-ups. Always remember, something is always better than nothing. Story 115. Herniated bulging of the C5-C6 vertebrae residual from a motor vehicle accident. I am fighting daily to walk to the shops. I miss the freedom of an able body and having the gym as a hobby. Story 116. I keep injuring myself. Not from clumsiness, but from a crick in my neck, a pulled muscle from a coughing fit, and arthritis flare-ups. Feels like fate is telling me no. I still go when I can and walk when I can't. Fate will learn to weave the right thread. Story 117. School and work keep me too busy and drained by 6 p.m. to go to the gym after dinner around 8 p.m. It's challenging. Story 118. I often come up with excuses because I have always disliked the gym atmosphere. I have tried boutique gyms in my area which offer smaller class sizes, but they are expensive, and both that I joined have gone out of business after a year. Story 119. I'm just tired. I used to work 3 days a week and lifted weights on my off days. Now I work 5 days a week and have 2 dogs at home. I usually have an hour commute from work. The gym is crowded in the evening, so I have to wait for equipment to become available, and it feels like a waste of time. I wish I had a complete home gym in its own room without distractions. That would be great. Even trying to work out in my living room with dumbbells is challenging because the television is there, my girlfriend is there, and the dogs are there. It's so easy to get distracted for 5 minutes or more or just call it quits halfway through a workout. Story 120. I strained a muscle in my rib cage a little while ago. You don't realize how often you use those muscles until they hurt. It heals slowly due to constant use. If you sneeze, it could set your recovery back by several days. Story 121. I put together a nice setup in the basement with a power rack, dumbbells, curl bars, and my wife's Peloton. I can't seem to find the motivation to make the 30-second walk down there. Story 122. My overtime varies at work, and I have dogs at home that are alone for over 10 hours, so I don't leave my house once I arrive. Story 123. I'm good at making excuses. I used to be an advanced lifter, but now that I've stopped going to the gym, it feels disappointing and not enjoyable, making it even harder for me to motivate myself to go. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.